Okay, so today we'll do a question, subarray sum equals k. So given an array of integers, let's say nums, and an integer k, return the total number of continuous subarrays whose sum is equal to k. For example, here are some examples like 1, 1, 1 and k is 2. So continuous subarray means one after the other. There should be no gap in between. So the first subarray will be 1 1 and the second subarray will be 1 comma 1, this one. And here also k is equal to 3, so the first subarray will be this and the second subarray will be this, hence 2. So the first approach that comes to a person's mind is the naive approach, which will be that we'll just traverse the array twice, like one outside loop will be there, and then we'll start comparing all of the sub arrays and then increment the count of like how if it matches the k value, then we increment the count. That will be a very basic approach which we can come forward with. But the thing is that when we are going forward with that approach, our time complexity will be too much. It will be big O of n square, because we will be running two loops there. One will be for from I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, and then inside that one more loop will be there, which will be j is equal to I to n minus 1. So in this way it will be of the time complexity will be of the order big O of n square. So this is not a very good approach for these kind of questions, because if I go forward with this approach, then I'll get time limit exceeded for few of the test cases. So what we have to aim is for the time complexity of big O of n. It should be of the order n. Now which means we have to compute this sum. I mean we have to count these sub arrays in just one traversal. Only one traversal should be there. For that we can move ahead with one of the solutions using hash map. So if you don't know what hash maps are, I am planning to make a video on hash maps as well. But for now you should know that these are key value pairs. So there is a key and there is a value. It contains key value pairs, and the keys are unique. So keys cannot be repeated in a hash map. Keys cannot be repeated. And the best example for which we tend to use hash maps is actually when we need to get the frequency of something. So suppose we have an array, and we have to get frequency of numbers in this array. So for that, the best data structure that can be used is hash map. Why is that? Because the keys cannot be repeated, and every time you while traversing the array, every time you encounter one number, if it is present in the hash map, you can just increment the value, and if it is not present in the hash map previously, you can just add it with the frequency 1. So here it will be key will be the element and value will be the frequency. So this is one basic use of a hash map. Now what I was thinking for this question was that we should use hash map for this question. Now how will we use hash map? So suppose we are traversing through the arrays. Let's take a bigger array. Let's say 8. Suppose this is my array, and I want just a sec. Yeah, and I want my I want my k to be 6. So how many subarrays will be there? The first one will be 1 3 2, so 1, and the second one will be 6, third one will be 6 itself, and the fourth one will be 3 3. So these will be the subarrays. So total 4 subarrays will be there. Now if we move forward with hash map approach, the first thing that we need to keep in our mind is that we cannot store every element there, and neither can we store every sum. So how do we need to come up with a solution which requires only one traversal and the use of hash map? Oh yes, I forgot to tell you, the benefit of using hash map is that insertion, deletion and search, most of the time, like insertion, deletion are surely in constant time. Constant time means big O of 1, and just a sec, and search is most of the time big O of 1. So why is it most of the time? Why most of the time? Because no, that is something we'll talk about when I upload the hash map video, in which I explain the use and benefit and everything regarding hash maps. But currently let's focus on this. So this is the benefit of using hash map. We can do most of our work in the least possible time. So now what I was thinking was, we can do one thing, that we start traversing the given array. So number of subarrays. Okay, so we can start traversing the array, and at every step we store the current sum, whatever it is, the current sum, we store it in the hash map. And along with that, we also check that if the current sum is equal to k, if it is equal to k, then we can increase the count, whatever the count is. And if the current sum is more than k, then we can see that how many pairs were there previously with the sum which is increasing by, like suppose the current sum is 8. Let's just suppose the current sum is 8 and the value of k is 6. So now we know that k is 2 less than the current sum. So we'll check how many pairs were there with the sum 2. Okay, and then we'll work on that. So how can we move forward with this? Suppose we are on 8, so we have to complete this in one traversal. So suppose we are on 8, so the first thing that we need to do is, in current sum we'll add the value 8. So previously current sum was 0, so current sum was 0 previously, we added the value 8 to it, and now the current sum is 8. Then what do? We check if so we'll take a hash map as well. Let's say we have a hash map. So this will be containing the, like it will be integer. So the hash map is of type integer, which means the key is also integer and value is also integer. Now let's call the map hash map itself, and will contain the current sum as key and the number of arrays having that sum, number of sub arrays having that sum as value. So since I have taken all the numbers as positive, no no current sum will have value more than 1. Okay, suppose I had some negative numbers as well, so the current sum can be repeated. Now the current sum will keep increasing because I'm taking 8, then 8 plus 1 9, then 9 plus 3 12, like that current sum will keep on increasing. But if there were any negative numbers, then the current sum value, like 2 or more sub arrays could have same sum. Like suppose this were no, suppose this were -2 and this were, leave it, let's take this one, 10 1 -1. Suppose this is my array, suppose. So 10 will have at first 10 will have value as 1. 10 will keep 10 as key and the value will be 1 because the sub array with sum as 10 is just 1 as of now. Then we move to next element and our current sum becomes 11. So we are not resetting the current sum, it will keep on increasing with array with only positive values, but if we are taking any negative value it will decrease also. And so yeah, we kept the current sum 10 with the value 1 because only one sub array was there till now. Then we move to the second position and we see that the current sum is 11, so we store 11 also. Then we move to the third position and the current sum again becomes 10. So now the key 10 will have the value as 2 because there are 2 sub arrays with the same current sum. That's what I was trying to tell. So yes, we have 8, we are on 8, so the current sum value is 8, and our map, we'll check if the map has the let me make map also here. So this is my map and these will be my keys and these will be my values. Okay, so currently we'll see that if our map is having this current sum or not. It is not having the current sum 8, so we don't need to do anything. Oh yes, we also have to check if yeah, so first we'll check the current sum is 8, so first we'll check if it is equal to k. So k is 6, it is not equal to k, so we don't do anything with the count. We have one count also which is also 0, and we'll have one more variable c which we'll talk about it later. So current sum is having value 8, k is 6, these two are not equal, so we don't increase the count. Then we move ahead and we check if the value of current sum minus k is present in the map or not. So current sum minus k is 2, which is not there in the map. There's nothing in the map actually because it is the first time we are looking at the values. So we again do nothing. Then we move forward and we take one more variable which is, let's say, c. So now we'll store whatever value is there for the key value of current sum. So we'll check if 8 is present in the map or not. Currently the map is empty, so it is not present, so value of c will be null. Now we check if it is null, it means the value of 8 is, the key 8 is not there. So we'll just directly put key 8 and we'll give it a value of 1. Okay, then we move ahead with our next loop. So we move forward and we are at 1. Now our current sum becomes 9. Now we again check if 9 is equal to 6. So again it is not equal to. So we do nothing, we don't increase the count. Then we check if map has key of 9 minus 6, which is 3. So we'll check the map. Map is not having any value of 3. So we again do nothing. If there were a value 3, see, if 9 was equal to 6, if current sum was equal to k, then our count would have increased. Okay, if map had the value 3, if map had the value of current sum minus k, then we would have directly added that to the count. So we would have directly added it to count. So count would be count plus map get value of key current sum minus k from map, which means our count would have increased with whatever value had been there, with like whatever value would have been there with the key as current sum minus k. So currently there is no key with the value 3, so we just don't do anything again. Then we check, then we take c is equal to get value of key current sum from map, and then if c is equal to null, then we add value of current sum key as 1. Otherwise we would have done add 1 to the current value of key current sum. Okay, this would have been our loop. So we are at 1 as of now. The current sum is 9. 9 is not equal to 6, and map does not have the key 3. So we directly come here and we get the value of 9 from the map, which is again null. So this is true. So this is true. Okay, and since this is true, we directly add the value to here. So this will be 1. Then we again move ahead. And now we are at 3. So our current sum is 12, which means is 12 equal to 6? No, again it is not, so we don't do anything. Then we check if map has key of 12 minus 6, which is 6. So we see here at the map we don't have any such key, so we again do nothing. Then we get value of key. So we check if 12 is there in the map. It is not, so again we get null, which means this is true. since this is true, we directly add the value 12 to the map. So 12 is added to map with value as 1. Then we again move forward. Now we are at position 2 and our current sum value is 14. Now we check if 14 is equal to 6. So again 14 is not equal to 6, so we don't do anything. This is again wrong. Now we check if 14 minus 6 is there in the map. So 14 minus 6 is 8, and yes, 8 is already there in the map here. This is 8. So what we do is we add the value of 8 to our map, to our count. So let me take a count variable also here. We'll see the value of count changing. So count. So currently count was 0. Now we have added the value of 8 in count. So count is 1. Okay. Then we move ahead and we get the value of 14 from map. So 14 is not there in the map, so again we get null. This is not changed. Then since this is null, so this condition is true. So we add the value of current sum with as key and with value as 1. Then we again move forward and this time we move to this 6. So our current sum becomes 20. Is 20 equal to 6? No, it is not. So again we don't do anything here. Then we move here and we check if 20 minus 6, which is 14, is there in the map or not. So yes, it is there. Right here it is there. So we just add the value to the count, which means our count becomes 2. Then we get the value of key 20 from map, which is again null. So we just directly add 20 to our map. So 20 has been added to the map with value as 1. Then we again move forward and we are at 3. So our current sum is 23. Is 23 equal to 6? We don't need to check this condition because it will never be equal to 6. The value just keeps increasing. So if 23 is equal to 6, we have done. If it were equal to 6, we would have increased the count, but it is not. So we check if 23 minus 6 is there, which is 17, and it is not there in the map. So we don't do anything. Then we get the value of 23 from the map, which is not there. So we just directly add 23 to the map with value as 1. The basic approach by which this algorithm has been formed is that whenever we get a difference between the current sum of the subarray from the starting till the current point, whenever we get the difference of the sum, like difference of the sum required and the current sum, we can say that if that sum has already been present, that difference, if that difference has already been present, it means that there was one subarray which had the sum equal to the given sum. So what happens is that we check if the map and find the number of subarrays which we previously found, if they have the sum equal to current sum minus the given sum which we want. Now if those subarrays had that difference, so like the like suppose this is my subarray 3263. Suppose this is my subarray. This had a sum A, okay, or S maybe. This had a sum S. The subarray 3263. This had a sum S. Okay, and my the sum of 813263 has the sum H, okay, or maybe X, let's say X. So this complete subarray from here till here is X, and this is the subarray of having the sum as S, and we require the subarray S. Okay, now the sum required by us is S only. Now in the map we have already stored all the sums starting from the first array, which is 81 has already been stored, okay, which let it be Y. So sum of 81 has already been stored, which is Y, and sum of this has been stored as X. So currently we are at 3, so our subarray is having the sum of X, and previously we had stored 81 as Y. Now if we get X minus Y, we will get the sum of 3263 or not? I think we will get it. So this is the main logic behind this approach. We have to get the value which is equal to the given sum, so in one traversal. So what we do is we keep subtracting the previously found sums of the subarrays from the beginning, and then we check if that sum has been present or not. So if it is there after subtracting the so what we are checking is that if there is anything already, if there is any subarray with the sum already as X minus S, then we can say that one subarray, at least one subarray has been there which could have the sum as S. Okay, so what we are storing is all the values of sums from the beginning of the array, and if we find that the sum we are currently at minus the sum which we require has been crossed, has been already stored in the map, then there was one subarray which had the sum equal to S. I hope I am able to explain myself. Like, I know this is quite complicated, but I hope that you will understand this soon enough. So now 23 is also done. So we move ahead and we again move to 6. So it will be 29. Is 29 equal to 6? No, it is not. Is 29 minus 6, which is 23 there? So 23 there, yes it is. So we add the value of 23 in our count, so our count becomes 3. Now you can say this, that our first increment happened at this point. Our first increment happened here, our second increment happened here, and our third increment is happening here, because these are the end points of subarrays with the required sum. I hope you are able to see the pattern here. So this is also true. We have added, so our value has become 3, Then we get the value 29 from here. So 29, it is not there, so it is null. Obviously this will be true again. So we add the value 29 to this map. Then we again move forward and we move to 3. So we move to 3, which means this will be 32. This will be false obviously, so 32 equal to 6, false. Then 32 minus 6, which is 26, so 26 is not there, so this is false again, so this is false. And we check if 32 is there in the map. No, it is not. So we go here and then we add 32 to the list. So 32 to the list. Then we again move forward and we are here, which means this is 35 now. Is 35 equal to 6? No, it is not. Then we go here and 35 minus 6, which is 29. So 29 is there in the map, so this is true, which means this value will also be added to count. So 4, this value has been added. Now we get here, we check 35 is not there, so we add this 35 also to the hash map, and we can see that we have count as 4. The array has ended. The fourth sum was met here because this was the end point of our fourth sub array, so our count is 4. Now this was you must be thinking, what is the need of all this, keeping the occurrences, how many times the sum of sub array has occurred. Actually this is required. Now suppose I had some negative values also. Let's take an array with some negative values. I'll take a small array, don't worry. So let's take 9 minus 3, 7 minus 3 minus 4, and let's take the sum as, okay, this is, and 4 also. No, and 14. Okay, now let's take the sum as 7. Okay, let's take the k as 7. So k is equal to 7. So obviously we start from here and we check 9 is equal to 7 or not. It is not, so we don't do anything. Then we check if 9 minus 7 is there in the map or not. 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. It's not there in the map, so we again don't do anything. Then we check if 9 is there in the map or not. So again 9 is not there in the map, so we add 9 to the map. So k v, so we add 9 to the map. Then we again move forward, and this time we go to minus 3. Then we check, current sum is equal to 6 now. So is 6 equal to 7? No, it is not. Then we check 6 minus 7 is equal to minus 1. Is it there in the map? No, it is not. Is 6 itself there in the map? No, it is not. So we add 6 also. So 6 with value as 1. Then we again move forward and we move to 7. Then our current sum becomes 13. So is 13 equal to 7? No, it is not. Then is 13 minus 7, which is 6 there? So yes, it is there. So yes, it is there. So yeah, so this is true. So what do we do now? We add the value, the frequency of 6 in our count. So currently count was 0, now it is 1. Then we go and check, is 13 there in the map? No, it is not, so we add 13 in the map. Then we move forward to minus 3, which means this is 10 now. So is 10 equal to 7? No, it is not. Then is 10 minus 7 there in the map, which is 3, and it is not there in the map. Then is 10 itself there in the map? So 10 is also not there, so we just directly add 10 to our map. Okay, I hope this much is understood by all of you. Then we move forward to minus 4. So this is 6 now. Okay, so wait, sorry, what was it earlier? 10, it was 10 minus 4, 6 here. Is 6 equal to 7? No, it is not. Then is 6 minus 7 in the map, which is minus 1? No, it is not. Then is 6 itself there in the map? Yes, it is. So we just directly increase its value. So now here you can see that the sum is repetitive because of the negative values. Then we again move forward to 14. So 14. So our current sum becomes 20. Is 20 equal to 7? No. Is 20 minus 7, which is 13, sorry, 13. So yes, 13 is there in the map. So we just directly add the value of 13 to our count, which is 2. And that's how it is ended. Later on 13 will also be added to the map, that is not important. So we get that there are 2 subarrays. We can also see this work in on this subarray, this array also. So first it will store 1 with frequency as 1, and then it will check if 1 is equal to k, then it is not. Then it will check if 1 minus k, which is minus 1 there, which will not be there. Then it will store 1 in the map. Then it will move to the second one. For second one it will again check it. So it will see that for second one the current sum will become 2. So current sum will be equal to k. So we will directly increase the value, and then we'll see if 2 minus 2, 0 is there in the map or not. It won't be there, so we don't do anything. Then we check if 2 is there in the map. It won't be there, so we just add 2 to the map. Then we move to the third one, and then we check the sum will be 3. So is 3 equal to 2? No, nothing will be done. Then we check if 3 minus 2, that is 1 there. So 1 will already be there, so we will just directly add 1 to the count. So which is the value, which will be the value of key 1. Okay, so the count will be 2. Then we move forward and we see if 3 is there, it won't be there, so we add 3 to the map. So the count will be 2. It is simple, but yes, if you are new to the whole programming world, then you will find it quite difficult, quite a lot difficult actually. So I think you should move to this question after solving some questions with the hash map and some other questions also. So there is one more thing. I am not moving in any particular order, that first I will solve some array questions, then graph questions. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just directly using the pick one feature of the LeetCode site. Okay, so hash map, oh sorry, integer, then we take map is equal to new hash map. Okay, then int count is equal to 0. Then we also take one current sum, so current sum is also equal to 0. Then we move ahead with our loop, so int I is equal to 0, int I is less than nums dot length, then I plus plus, then we move ahead and we just directly add it to our current sum, so current sum plus equal to nums of I. Then if current sum is equal to k, we just directly increase the count. Then we move forward, and if map dot contains key, which will be current sum minus k, if it is there, then we'll increment count because the sub array has been completed with the sum k. So count plus equal to map dot get current sum minus k. Then next we just directly take int c is equal to map dot get current sum if c is equal to null. Then we add map dot put c1, otherwise we add to the frequency, so map dot put c map dot get c plus 1. Okay, then after this we return count. It should be integer, not int, because the map is having the values. Yeah, so return statement is missing. This should not be inside the loop, this should be outside the loop. So let's check it now. Wrong answer, output is 1. So what is not correct here? So first thing, we are incrementing the array sum, or the current sum also. Then we are checking if current sum is equal to this, then we are checking if map is equal to current sum minus this, and we are adding also. Then then integer also we are taking, and we are putting it also here. So yeah, this should be count, sorry, not count, c. And this is the problem, the c is not the key, the current sum is key. So current sum, c is the value of key. Now it should be correct. Let's see, yes, submit. And yes, 16 millisecond faster than 90. This is something that makes me happy. seeing that I was faster than more than 90% of people, that is something that I live for. Okay, yeah, so thank you everyone. I hope you were able to understand whatever I just said, these coding terms. I hope they were simple enough for you. And if you are doing it for the first time, I highly recommend that first you start with simple problems, then you move on to such professional platforms like LeetCode, etc. Start with HackerRank, I would say. Okay, thank you.